With every moment I spend in your presence, you are the bane of my existence and the object of all of my desires. Because I feel like he like inhales her smell.
He does. You are the bane of my existence. And the object of all my desires. And she's like,
Fucking hold this focus. Like,
what? What? What did you say?
dearest gentle listeners, welcome to a new episode of Page to Picture. I'm your host, Kim.
And I'm your host, Tiff.
and today we are jumping into a different era. Same era from the previous episode, but different era all in all.
Yep.
Before we dive in, just a quick heads up, this episode will include spoilers about Bridgerton, the book and the show. So if you haven't read the book or seen the show yet and want to avoid spoilers, you might just want to come back and listen later.
Yep.
Otherwise, let's get into it.
Woo.
So today we are talking about the Viscount Who Loved Me. The Viscount or just Viscount?
I think it's just Viscount.
Okay.
Viscount Who Loved Me. But in my head, I want to say the.
Same. It's the.
The Viscount.
So we are talking about the Viscount Who Loved Me, which is part 2 of the Bridgerton series. So some facts about the book. The author is, again, Julia Quinn. Genre is historical romance.
Smut.
Setting is Regency smut era, London. The Viscount Who Loved Me was released December 2000. And like we talked in the previous episode, each book is based off the Bridgerton children. So today we are going with child number 1, the firstborn, Anthony. Anthony?
I think it's Anthony with an H, but they pronounce it as Antony.
I love the way they say his name.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Anthony. Just when the mom says his name is my favorite. Everyone else is like, whatever. But when the mom said, Anthony.
Anthony.
She's so aggressive and I love it.
Anthony. I love it.
You are the Viscount.
You must take care of our numbers, our books.
You
Anthony,
must marry.
You have sisters and brothers who look up to you.
And Anthony's...
Stop fucking up a tree.
I was just gonna say, and Anthony just wants to fuck on a tree.
Or an opera house.
That too. That is... Yikes.
Anthony, biggest rake.
Yeah.
Of the siblings. Yeah.
I mean...
So far. Okay, let's go by so far that we have talked about.
Okay,
so we only talked about Daphne, who can't be a rake.
Yeah.
So Anthony's the first. So he's the first rake.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, go ahead with the series.
Okay, so season 2 of Bridgerton, which is based on, as you said, the eldest Bridgerton child, Anthony, was released on March 25th of 2022 on Netflix. So this is the second season. First one was with Daphne and the Duke, and now it is focused on Anthony, who showed up a bit in the first season, so we kind of already knew who he was and what kind of person he
showed a lot.
He did show a lot. We got to see a lot of Anthony, let's just say.
If you pulled up his ass, I would know what it looked like.
Exactly. If I saw a tree bark, it's Anthony. It's Anthony.
Anthony's ass.
His carriage driver is right there. So Bridgerton season 1 through 3 currently right now is available to stream if you would like to catch up on all the gossip. As Kim said before, this episode will include a lot of spoilers, so you can go ahead to Netflix now and watch it, and then come back later so we can talk all the hot gossip and tea.
Gossip.
So the Viscount Who Loved Me is Anthony Bridgerton and his love interest, Kate Sharma, but in the books she is Kate Sheffield, which is mentioned in the show, the Sheffield name, but it's her, it's her like her mom's surname, because her mother married to a Sharma. So, it is between Anthony and Kate. So, just a quick rundown on the plot. So, Anthony, I keep saying his name weird.
Anthony. There's no H.
There's no H. We don't even type it out as an H. So Anthony is trying to quickly find a Viscountess, to pretty much help fill his role as the Viscount, since he is the man of the house. He wants to
take over the mama.
Yeah, he wants to pretty much just step up. So he is on a quick hunt to find his wife. He ends up coming across the Sharmas, and quickly tries to court Edwina Sharma, which is Kate's younger sister. But then as time goes on and he spends time with the Sharma family, he realizes that Kate is who he feels that burn for.
Yeah.
So the tropes of this type of, for the book and for the show, the tropes are slow burn. It's a mild enemies to lovers because they don't really get along, but they have that like,
I hate
you, but I love you. And
I
then
love it.
Yeah, I love it too. And it's also a forbidden love type of trope. So this one's a good one. I love this one. So the last episode that we did, which was season 1, book 1, that trope is more along the lines of like fake dating trope. They come across an arrangement and they're like, let's pretend to be lovers, and then they end up falling in love. So this one is slow burn, enemies to lover, forbidden love, which I'm a fan of. Those are like a lot of the books that I read, so I'm like, I love it.
It's so good. It's such a different, from season 1 to season 2 and even book 1 to book 2, it's such a different feeling. And I feel like you can say that for each book. They're not all the same. They have their own reasoning, you know what I mean, for each of these kids, and I love it. So this one is like, like you said, mild enemies to lovers, and then it's just more that like tension when you're like, come on, just do it in the tea garden. Anthony. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this. The book. Okay, so I didn't read the book for Anthony, the Viscount Who Loved Me, because I watched season 2 right after I watched season 1. Right? Yeah. Dang, I watched it 2 years later. Because season 1 didn't come out till 2020, and season 2 came out 2022.
Yeah.
Okay, but I watched this season because I was like, okay, let's watch it. Fell in love, and I think it was after I watched this season, I was like, I have to read the book because I can't wait for 2 years. It made me realize, like, okay, it's gonna take almost 2 years for them to even do anything. So let me just get started. So I didn't read this book. I read the books moving forward with the other siblings. So I'm more of the series person.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll start it off. So I already mentioned it before. One of the big differences is Kate's name. So in the book, she's addressed as Kate Sheffield. But in the show, she's Kate Sharma. That's one of the biggest differences, but it's like one that's like really not,
because in the book, is she from London? Like, is she just, it's like she's just in England, like, it doesn't depict that she's from India, right? Unlike the show where they are from India,
where she's like, I'm moving back to India, but that is not far enough. But that is not far enough. She's like, bitch. Yes, it is.
Oh my god. I love that, though. I love that. This is one of the reasons why I love this show, is that they're not all just like white people from London or whatever. They're different ethnicities, different backgrounds. And the fact that they have her backstory as like from India, I think is really great. So I love that part.
I also like how they trickled in like her outfit designs and the way
Mm-hmm.
that she does her hair and makeup and everything is
Mm-hmm.
very like it has that hint of her culture, which I love. So yeah,
Yeah,
thumbs up for that.
the tea drinking, I think
Mm-hmm.
how they drink it, and then the bangles,
Yeah,
I love it. They
yeah,
brought the culture
I love it.
into it. Me
It's
too.
great. And then another one that I thought was interesting was Kate and Colin in the books have like this really like funny little witty friendship that like where they have like little banter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very loving type of feel. But in the show, they barely have a relationship at all. Um, but you do see some sibling bonding happen in like season 3, which is like Colin's season.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really have a connection with Kate and Colin in the book. Or no, in the show. In the book they did. And I think the reason why
Mm-hmm.
they did that was because Colin had his own thing going on because Colin left to go see Marina Thompson and all that stuff because he was like,
Yeah.
why not me? And Marina's like, ew. Like it's just the whole thing. So
She's
I
like,
think
this
that's
is
kind
my
of why.
husband, and these are our babies.
Yeah, and they were really I think they were really focused on setting up Colin and Penelope's season, so that's kind of why they
Mm-hmm.
didn't mix that together.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I know they do have their kind of relationship in season 3 with Penelope. Kate is very in it,
Hmm.
which I love. But I like how there isn't a bond between her and Colin in the series of season 2 because it's really focused on Anthony, Kate, and Edwina. And it's not even like Edwina's making these relationships between the other siblings. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
She's like very out of her element with them. Um, so I liked that's a difference. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, I liked
It
it
doesn't
too.
bother me.
No, and then they also had like Eloise intertwined with the season, which brings up my next one. So Eloise in the book she's 17. She's not old enough to be out in society yet, but in the show it was her outing into society, so she was
The
18.
first,
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
that's the difference. And then in the book she's not trying to uncover Lady Whistledown, and she doesn't meet Theo. Theo's just some random character that the show just kind of threw in.
Added.
Yeah, and she doesn't find out that Pen is
Yeah.
Whistledown until book 4.
Right.
So in the show, they focused on what they were doing with her in season 1 of like trying to uncover Whistledown, which I mean, I get,
They had
I
to
kind of
like I
guess,
think to like do the storyline with Penelope. They
yeah, they
had
had
to
to
like
speed it up
speed
a
it
bit.
up. Mm-hmm.
To match it. So that was one of the differences. But I didn't mind Theo. I liked Theo because it showed that like Eloise like
Cares.
had
Like
like yeah.
she's not like I don't need well, she is very like I don't need a man. Like I am a
Mm-hmm.
woman, I will do what I want to do, but it shows that she can have genuine feelings for a suitor, even if it's not the right suitor
Yeah.
for what she needs in society in the ton.
Yeah. She
Um
kind of shows her humble side of like I don't really
mhm.
see the difference between class. I kind of just see people for who they are, which is funny
And it's
because in
sad when
season
she
3 it's different.
and yeah, and
Yeah.
it's sad too when she gets hurt, like how she gets hurt
Yeah.
by Lady Whistledown, who we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I mean the whole thing, but I kind of liked that they threw in Theo in there. It kind of works too because then it's like kind of prepping us to see her a little bit as more adult. So that way when her
Yeah,
season does come around, we'll be able to kind of be like more accepting of it. If that makes
yeah.
sense.
It
Rather
ties
than
and it.
like imagine if it was like Hyacinth and then all of a sudden like what they did with Francisca.
Mhm.
Like Francesca. Francisca. Like what they did with Francesca, they just like had her in the background and not really doing much, and then all of a sudden she's like in society, and
Mhm.
people were kind of like, "What?"
Mhm. Like
So
who?
yeah, so like I think they kind of did Eloise right by like trickling in like the idea of her growing
Yeah,
up and starting to, yeah, it's a good
I
thing.
agree.
I liked it.
Me too.
Oh, okay. So another one that is different. is that the Sheffields, aka the Sharmas, they actually don't have a sponsor in the book. They stay with Lady Danbury, but they don't really need her to sponsor them, like, money wise, if that makes sense. They actually,
They
in the
do it on
book,
their own.
yeah, in the book they have enough in their dowries
Oh.
to hold on their own, but they just stay with Lady Danbury because Lady Danbury
That
invited them.
host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the show they need Lady Danbury's sponsorship because they don't have money, which is uncovered
And
like later on in the season.
in the dinner scene with her parents, right? When the parents show up, or the aunt and uncle or something.
Yeah, I think it's their grandma. So it's the
Okay.
it's the mom and dad of Edwina's dad, because Kate has a different father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that unraveling because it just shows more of Kate, like her story, and I feel like it's what gets Anthony more obsessed with her.
He just gets riled up by the fact.
I know.
Yeah. Something that I saw earlier was like that Kate and Anthony's season was more for the older sisters, and you know, like that term of like the older sisters, like they'll do whatever to protect, you know, like their family and stuff, their siblings and stuff like that, but they never really give themselves a chance. And then so like Kate has like, she is the same concept, and she finally is given a chance with Anthony and his smutty ways.
Oh,
So
I love it.
yeah, so I think that scene kind of like opens his eyes to that type of view of her. It's nice. And then he sees her in the office and he's like
I am obsessed. And like when he smells her,
yeah, and I'm like,
he's like, and I'm like, ooh,
I know, I'm like, why you like that? Stop. I love it.
I do.
Another one which I thought was really interesting actually was the Featheringtons. Their whole role in the book and in the show. So the cousin isn't even in the book. Like the new Lord Featherington, like
after the dad dies,
yeah,
right?
like he's not. They just kind of wrote him in, and then Lady Featherington in the book is the reason why Anthony and Kate are getting married, because she caught them. It like, okay, this kind of like trickles into another one, but during the bee sting scene in the show, it happened in the book, but in the book, after this bee stings her and Anthony's like freaking out and she's like, no, it's okay, they're super close. Yeah. And it looks like they were about to kiss or have kissed already. And Lady Featherington walks in with like other people. Yeah.
Lady Featherington.
And she was like, oh my God, you guys have to get married or I'm going to tell, you know, like this whole thing. Cause I think it was Lady Bridgerton, Lady Danbury, and Lady Featherington that walked in on them. And obviously Lady Bridgerton and Lady Danbury ain't gonna say shit because they know how to keep their mouths shut. They said, that's my man, that's my boy right there, that's my those are my kids. Yeah. Show us the butt, you know. Like they're fine with it. But Lady Featherington,
my countess.
Yeah, exactly. So Lady Featherington, however, is not like that. She's a gossiper.
No.
She is the biggest gossip of the town, as she's described in the book. And so they're pretty much forced to be married by her. But in the show, like that doesn't happen. The Lady Featheringtons they have like Lady Featherington herself has little to no role. Yeah, they have
their own story, their own stuff going on.
Yeah,
with the cousin that's taken over and like
trying to do the ruby thing from the mines, and
they have their own situation. Stealing, right? He's like trying to steal from
everyone in the town. By like selling fake jewelry or something. Or like getting them to invest in his mines that aren't getting anything. So so yeah, that's scheme. So they just have this huge side story. And it's just they're not involved at all. And then the bee sting is just a standalone scene that shows them falling more for each other, but it doesn't include any other characters. So
okay,
yeah, that's one for sure. And then the wedding scene. The wedding scene, the wedding with Edwina and Anthony, it doesn't even
Mm-hmm.
happen in the book. And it, like, the whole, in the show, like, the entire time that
Because
he's
it goes straight to
courting.
Anthony and Kate.
Yeah,
in the
pretty
book.
much. No, so, like, how it happened in the book was Edwina, he courts Edwina, I think, for, like, 1 or 2 balls. And then she quickly realizes, like, that there's something between him and Kate. So she's like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to be engaged to you. I don't want to, this is more you guys, and I'm supportive of that. And I'd rather you, and Edwina, in her head, she wants someone who's more like prestige. Like, she wants a higher ranked man. So in the book, she's just like, oh, I don't want to be engaged to you anymore. You marry my sister. You guys love each other. I'm
it's
good.
very just like,
she's so whatever about it. Yeah. But in the
show,
they make it to the wedding.
Intense. They make it to the wedding.
Yep.
She has the bracelet, and then it's like Anthony's standing there staring at Kate. Remember? And it's just like,
I know, it's just this whole thing, and Edwina's watching it firsthand, and I think something like that happens.
She's really clicking. It's like she really is getting it. Like, you love my sister.
Yeah.
You don't love me. You're wasting my time. Like, just be with her.
Yeah. So in the book, I think something like that happens where they have an exchange, a wordless exchange, and Edwina's there watching it, and then that's when she's like, you guys love each other. You don't love me. You're my sister. I want you to find love, not me. You know what I mean? So it's like this whole thing. But, like, they needed some sort of, like, I feel like because of the burn. Yeah, because of the burn that they, like, added to Anthony and Kate, like the slow burn, they needed like something that would, like, cause them to crumble. You know what I mean? Like a danger to their relationship, their love. And they used they used Edwina for that. And so, yeah, and Anthony courts her all the way up to the wedding, and then that's when the wedding gets called off. So,
like, he courts her hard. Like, remember when they do that thing where everybody is like going to her and doing like a talent show
in the show?
Do you remember? Yeah, do you remember they're all?
Oh yeah, and he like reads a poem or something. Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah, that your boy writes for him.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god. Why are you
in the book, is Benedict at all mentioned in the book? Like, he's in there,
but he's not like heavy.
Because in this season, he's like menage a trois and like,
No, not in this season. In the 3rd season, he does his little menage a trois.
Okay,
in the 2nd season, he is in art school, which I think is mentioned in the book. He is in art school.
Do you remember he like goes and sees like that guy?
Oh yeah,
that guy.
I don't think that's
in it like at all. Into it in the show.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember they're all like they're in like a brothel? It literally looks like
and he walks in on the guy, and he's like, you know what I mean? So like,
hey.
In the book, it's not mentioned that he's like that. I think in the 4th book or the 3rd book is when it's mentioned. But I know in the 2nd book he's around, but they do mention him being in art school, I think. But I can't really remember.
The show.
No, I think the reason why the show emphasized more on it is because of what happens in the 3rd season, which leads to what happens in his season.
Yeah,
which is coming up, so
I'm like notating. I'm keeping notes of
Baby Boy Benedict's
like situation in all the seasons because I love the way that they are. Much like Eloise, like slowly setting us up for their season without us really questioning it. Like, why are they focusing so much on their stories, or like, why are they involving them? It just flows well with the story, with the series, and then it just helps bring us into their season. Like, I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so excited for my baby boy.
Me too. We'll talk about it. You're like, I could have played her.
I could have. I could be a Cinderella.
Take the pictures and put your picture.
And put my picture over it.
Over her
face, put my face. I digress. We move on.
Okay. So we'll go into similarities.
Okay.
So in the book, Edwina breaks off, which we were just talking about. Edwina breaks off the engagement, and then she admits she sees the spark between Kate and Anthony, which is similar to the series, but instead of the engagement, she's breaking off the entire wedding, which is like a whole spectacle. And I loved in the series when they're in that back room, and then King George
Oh
comes
my
in
god,
there,
I know. And she's like,
and she's
doesn't she
just
look
like,
lovely? And I'm like,
oh. She's like
stop.
so sweet. I
Yeah.
love that like little moment they gave her, because you're not like, ew, Edwina, like you're obviously not with this Bridgerton family. Like, move on. Like, you're annoying. Like, they give her a little something, and you're just like, she's so sweet. Like the fact that she could do that for King George, who we love, Farmer George,
Farmer
King
George.
I'm
gonna cry.
So I calm down. We have to do a spin-off episode where we talk
Yes,
about
I want to do it so bad.
Even though there's no book, we have to do like
there is a
bonus.
book.
What?
Yeah, they made one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they
I thought they
did.
just did it just to do it.
No, here, look. I don't know, but Julia Quinn and Shonda Rhimes both wrote it together.
I wonder if it's the same as the show.
I mean, it has to be. Look at the cover.
Dude, that'll be a fun bonus. We have to find the book.
The book is at Barnes & Noble.
Okay, well, you already know what to do.
I'm gonna walk on over since I'm right up the street.
Like, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Let me go get it.
Anthony's. Oh no, what did I say? That Anthony.
Anthony. It's because I put an H in there.
I know. My God. Antony's rush into marriage. So in the book, Antony feels the burden of being the man of the house. Which, like, do you remember in the show he was like hardcore stressing?
Yeah.
He was like,
over papers. He's like, I can't do this. I was like,
he's just like stressed. I was like, bro, find a tree, calm down.
Find a tree, find an opera singer, and go.
Pump it. Like, fuck out of here. So because he feels this burden, he's trying to rush to find his wife. But one reason that isn't mentioned is because he feels like he's going to die young since his father died young. That is so sad.
Yeah, in the book, he kind of emphasizes that his father died at age 38, and in the book, I think Anthony is like 33, 36 or something like that. And so he's getting up on that age. Yeah, so he's getting up on that age, 3 and 30.
That's how we say it.
Yeah,
and like that.
I'm yeah, but and Kate says I'm 20 and 3, and I'm like,
wait,
you're 23?
How do they? They say like 6 and 20.
Yeah, like, okay. Anyways, he's 3 and 30.
I'm 3 and 30. Thank you.
I'm
so
9 and 20.
When I have a candle for my next birthday, it should say 4 and
30.
I don't know what you mean.
So in his book, he talks about it briefly.
Scared.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to die young because my father died young, and I feel like I don't have time.
Your father died young because he got stung by a bee.
But he's traumatized. Like they show that in the show. They show it in the show that he's traumatized. And
when
so
they showed that, I was like, oh my God. And the mom, how sad the mom was, and you saw the little Bridgertons.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to Papa?
Mom, get us in the house now!
Anthony! Get them in the house! The children!
I don't want them to see!
I don't want them to.
It was so sad when the dad died, and then like his reaction when Kate and I love how they're like arguing, and then the bees around, and Kate's just like, it's just okay, like
I'm just stung. And he's like, no, you're going to die.
Like, holding it. I was
so
like,
sad.
oh.
It shows his trauma. His trauma
and
is
like
showing.
Hyperventilating. Like, it was such good acting.
It was really good.
I loved it.
It was good. So that's the bee sting is what's similar as well. But yeah, so Anthony He's rushing it, which is similar into the show. You can see that he's really rushing to try and
Yeah.
find
'Cause he
someone.
says in the beginning, he's like, I will find a wife.
Yeah, I'm going to find one. Like, he's so nonchalant about it, and I think that's
Yeah.
the only difference between
He's like,
that.
he like walks in, he's like, hello, family. I will find a wife. Like, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're like,
What?
okay. What?
Shouldn't you
They're
have
like,
found a
but
wife like 4 years ago?
they're like, but it is Eloise's season. And Eloise is like, no,
Yeah. Carry on.
go ahead.
Please keep going.
Make haste. Make
Yeah,
haste.
make
Go ahead.
haste. Yeah, so that's the only thing. The two similarities is that he's rushed. He feels that burden
Yeah.
of becoming the man of the house. He wants to fill that role as Viscount, but
And
he
you
also
feel
wants
it.
to be able to have that wife to kind of complete that role and have
Yeah.
a Viscountess to take over the house. So that way his mom can at least kind of rest and stop being Viscountess, because that's what
Mhm.
she is right now. And then yeah, but the only difference between that, and it's just a small difference, is the fact that he just feels like he's gonna die really young, like his dad. So, it's really sad, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And then Lady Danbury, my favorite.
yes, we
Lady
love her.
Danbury, little pimp, little
With her hat, I loved her
Oh,
hats this season. The seasons that she had, the
I
season
was
two,
like,
her hats. She had that top
Natalie,
hat, and I was like, "Oh,
love
girl, I
her.
said pop
I love her
off."
like
I want her
Joan. It's
to
like,
pimp slap.
oh my god, I love her so
I
much.
love her. She's great.
You briefly mentioned it, but so the Sheffields.
Sheffield's.
So Kate and Edwina.
Yeah.
They do stay with Lady Danbury throughout the time of the season in the book, but like you mentioned, they're just doing it because Lady Danbury is just like a nice host. That's what
Mhm.
she does, like host her home and stuff. And then in the show, she's sponsoring the Sharmas and she's like helping them through the season. Like, this is what we do. This is the tea time. This is the bowls. This is
Mhm.
the blah, 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 blah. And if you get the, stamp of approval from the queen, you want to be the diamond of the season, you're in. You're
Yep.
like number one.
Mhm.
And Kate is pretty much like, I'm just here to make sure my little sister, because I am of age 6 and
6 and
20,
20.
and I am a spinster, and I will not find love. Like, honey, 26, you can find love.
26, yeah. And she looks
Uh-huh.
good. She looks hella. You see them boobs? Come on now.
Lifted.
Listen, if your boobs
love
can
her.
still be as high as Lady Bridgerton, you're good. That's all I gotta say.
And Lady Bridgerton finds her gun to mend her garden later on.
Her garden.
Which I love. The gardener, that's what
I
we call
know.
it.
So, yeah, it's so true.
Okay, and then lastly, Daphne's presence. So I know it was like a big question with every season moving forward. I think by now we're kind of over the whole Daphne and the Duke. We realize that they're not going to make any more appearances. But it was a big deal. Like, is Daphne and the Duke going to make an appearance in the second season? And Daphne does with her little baby. The Duke does not, though. He's like off doing Duke things, I guess, taking care of shit, but whatever. Filming the Gray Man, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Something. Dungeons and Dragons.
So, yeah. I loved it in Dragons.
We know.
That's why he wasn't in season 3. No. Okay, so Daphne's presence in the book is there. However, like we said, the Duke is with her, and Daphne is pregnant at the time of the book.
In the book, yeah. So in the book, the Duke is there. So he shows up in 2 scenes. He shows up in the scene where they play like the ball game.
Yeah, mallet or whatever.
And Daphne is pregnant at the time, and I think the Duke shows up again at like a dinner or like a ball or something with her. But Daphne is pregnant. And it starts to rain, like, while they're playing. Yeah, it starts to rain while they're, like, playing. And he's, like, trying to get Daphne inside because she's so pregnant. And I'm like, oh, I wish they had that. Or at least I wish, like, Daphne was pregnant. Because then that would kind of, like, show. Because they have, like, what, like 4 kids, I think, in the book.
Yeah, they have a lot
of kids. So, but in the show, Daphne is present. She is there. And she's there during the game episode. Yeah.
Like that she showed up because she kind of like can see the love between, or the fire burning between Kate and Anthony, and she's like all for it because she even has like a moment where she talks to Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Like
They have multiple moments, I think.
she's like, you know, friendship comes first, and he's just kind of like, shut up.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're
Fucking
talking
hate you.
about.
My ass was on a tree. Don't
He's
talk to me.
like, yeah, he's pretty much like, we all can't get lucky like you did with the Duke, right?
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, my sideburns are longer than yours, so don't tell me what to do.
those sideburns.
I'm glad they got rid of it. I'm
Honey.
glad they got rid of it.
Let's get into our thoughts on the book and adaptation. So overall, well, I didn't read the book, so for me, the series. Okay, if I was to compare it to between 1 and 2, the book series 1 and series 2, I prefer series 2 over series 1.
Yeah.
I like the story of Anthony and Kate. I love the, you know, enemies to lovers situation. I love their like banter back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the new characters they brought, or just all the characters they have in there. So I prefer, if I were to watch, like, I think I even did when before I watched Colin's season, I was like, let me like binge it back. I skipped season. I was like, I don't need to watch season 1. I think I rewatched it so many times.
Yeah.
I started on season 2, but I love their season, and I love that they make more of a presence in Colin and Penelope season. Like,
Yeah.
they're there. So yeah, that's what I think. I like it.
Yeah. I like the season better too, just because the book was like, I read the book after I watched the show. And so like after watching the show, I'm like, I imagine how the show went, and then when I'm reading the book, I'm like, just not the same. Yeah, it's just not the same. Like I kind of get the when like they added like little things, and when the timeline was different, like with Edwina and all of that, and like Lady Featherington and stuff, I was like, okay, like I can see that, but I liked the way that the show did it because it went out very smoothly. A very smooth season. Everything that had happened was perfect. It fit perfectly together like a freaking puzzle piece of Anthony's ass. It was great.
It fits so perfectly, like Anthony's ass up against that tree.
Exactly. Same. Just saying. So I prefer the season over the book.
Same. If you were to give it how many stars? Stars. Just stars.
The book or the show?
Well, since you read the book and watched the show, go ahead and give both.
Okay. I rate the book a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I rate the show a 4.5. I like that one a lot. I think that's my favorite one so far.
I rate the show also a 4.5. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I liked it better than The Duke and I.
And what is your smut level?
The book
comparison.
The book, my smut level is a 4. 3.5 too, just because like it's not
timid.
as heavy. It's because it's like
Oh.
a slow burn, so like you don't really get too much like of the smutty
There's
smut,
like
smut,
not
smut. Yeah.
It's not like a montage like Japanese season where they literally just like
do it all the time, like page after page after
the
page after
entire
page.
house.
Yeah, like it's not like that.
In the library, on the stairs, he's like
Yeah. I think in the book, I think they only do it like maybe twice.
Daphne?
No, Kate and Anthony.
Oh.
I think they only do it once or twice. So I would rate it.
They would only do it
like twice.
Once out in the garden,
and
when
then
he's like, get out of my garden. And she's like, you want me to leave? He's like, get out. She's like, you get out. And they're like,
and he's like, rips his fucking shirt off. And she's like, and her boobs are all out. It's just a whole thing.
Oh my god.
Let's just say he loves to eat. So
yeah.
Okay. He didn't do that with the opera singer. So
no, he did not.
He said, you smell. Anyways, so so the book I would give it a 3.5 as well, and in the show I would give it a 4, just because that garden scene was a delight.
So the garden is delightful.
Tea time.
So the garden scene, he's more like this.
He has his pinky up and he's like all up in there. Like, okay. He's like, can I have my butt out?
Oh my god. Okay, so the garden scene is the one where they have smuts. But what is the other scene where they have smut?
In the office. They have like a heated makeout.
She's wearing her like white pajama gown.
In the book, in the office, they have like a passionate kiss, and it's so detailed that it's like it could be smut if they had just continued it. But it gave you that like, oh my god, like, this is so, yeah, like it gave you that feeling of like, oh, I want them to love each other so bad. Like I want them to just, you know what I mean? So in the book, that's why it's like a 3 point whatever. But in the show, the 4 stars is literally just that garden scene.
Agreed. Okay, I give it 4 chili peppers.
But also like when Anthony's getting out of the lake, I was like,
and she's like,
and then the sister's like, it's so like, why they gotta do him like that? Like,
what?
And then they make it the cover on Netflix. I was like, stop.
It's like, I love that scene. Fast forward.
Skip.
Like Daphne and the Dukes, it made me feel like I'm watching something.
Oh my god, I know. Like I had to stop. Like I don't like watch it. And,
like, it's like I
everywhere.
Cannot. And I think that's because it's like the perspective of a girl. Like she was not told how things were. It was very demure, very modest, very mindful. And then her like servant was like, "No, honey, you need to like." And she's like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "You need to play with yourself." And she's like, "What?" Like when I watched it, I was like,
when he said that when they were out on a promenade. And they're talking, and he said that to her, and she's like, I would have been like,
I literally was like, what did he just say? And then she went home and did it. I was like, what did she do? I was like, smut.
I know.
Like, wow.
And that was your first taste of Bridgerton too. You were like,
I was literally like, I felt like I had to watch it with my doors closed.
You're like, oh my god,
myself.
Is this 365 days?
I told my husband, I was like, do not bother me. Do not startle me. I have to watch this.
Don't startle me.
Don't come in here like, what are you doing? I'm watching smut, okay?
Don't startle me. I will drop whatever's in my hands.
That's how whatever's in my hands, I will drop it. But, and then with season 2, with Anthony and Kate, I was just like, come on, like, rooting, like, do it! Like, do it!
Show us that ass!
I was like, told my husband, I was like, come watch! Do it! I was like, do you want to see their sexy? Let's watch it together.
Look. Take me to the garden. Like, it's so, I think that's so funny how the difference
stroll to the garden.
But I think that kind of adds to like the type of trope that it is, which is like a slow burn. Like you're building up, and like it really gets you. Like you're like, oh, I really want them to be together. Like I want them to just finally admit it.
Every season, like we'll talk about Colin, but like everyone has their own like smut situation going on, and I love it. Yes. I'm here for it, and I can't wait to see Benedict's smutty ass. I know you.
I mean, we've seen like snippets of Benedict, and he don't play around. He don't play around, and I'm excited to see how he is. Yeah, and I'm excited to see how he is, in his season with his love interest. To see like him like burning for someone. Oh my god, I'm gonna fall more in love.
I need to know. Okay, I have to relook at the book. We'll talk more about it later, but I gotta relook at the book because you know how like in every season there's the one line that like sticks. So like season 1 is like I burn for you. Season 2, I feel like it's the like
but that's just not far enough. How does that entire line go? I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna say it. Hold on.
And then like Colin and Penelope's like we got there. So I'm curious. I have to go back to season to Benedict's story and look through my notes, like what I've highlighted, to find out what it is of the season so I can prepare. But real quick, speaking of smut stuff, like
Wait.
I don't know.
Wait, I want to
finish.
do the line. Okay.
I don't know how I will feel with Eloise. I feel like they'll do her like elegant.
I think they will because that's how they do with Francesca.
Yeah, very
But
elegant.
I don't know because you kind of
mindful.
see Eloise as like this fiery girl, so it would be nice to kind of see her.
I have to finish reading her book, so
yeah.
Okay, go
okay,
ahead.
can you do?
Wait, I gotta hold the line.
No, just do Kate's where she's like, but I'm leaving for India.
To see the whole thing. Hold on.
No, I'm gonna say the whole thing.
I know, but I want to. What did you type?
I typed in, but that is not far enough, and that's it. And it just gave me the entire quote.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm leaving for India.
And that I fucked it up. Start again.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
But I'm leaving for India.
And it is not far enough. Do you think that there is a corner of this earth that you could travel to far away enough to free me from this torment? I'm a gentleman. My father has raised me to act with honor, but that honor is hanging by a thread that grows more precariously for every moment I spend in your presence. You are the bane of my existence and the object of all my desires.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's so stupid. Okay.
The Bane.
The Bane? Wait, I like it when that girl on TikTok is like, my father has raised me to act with honor, but that honor is hanging by a thread. And she goes, I'm a gentleman. So fun.
Okay, I'm gonna try to read it.
Okay. Scene.
Hold on.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I will try it.
Okay. But I'm leaving for India.
I have to cover your arms and I'll leave you because I can't.
Okay, cover me up. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
But I'm leaving for India.
This isn't far enough. You think that there is a corner of this earth that you could travel too far away enough to free you from this torment? I am a gentleman. My father raised me to act with honor, but that honor is hanging by a thread that grows more precarious. What is it?
Precariously.
With every moment I spend in your presence, you are the bane of my existence and the object of all of my desires. Because I feel like he like inhales her smell.
He does. You are the bane of my existence. Yeah. So, on a lighter note, Anthony got a Bridgerton glow up, which we like to call because everyone has a Bridgerton glow up, as we have come to see. So yeah, Colin had a Bridgerton glow up.
I agree.
And and so Anthony's sideburns are gone, and he is hotter. Goodbye, sideburns. R.I.P.
He looked mean as fuck with those sideburns. He just looked nasty.
He looked like the guy that was supposed to marry Daphne in the first season.
Yeah, it just was not like
it.
If that was a choice, it was wrong, and I'm glad they took it out.
I think the directors were different.
Okay.
So I think that's why they have this glow up now. But so Anthony's hotter. And then we're back again with the classical covers of pop songs. So as we know, Bridgerton likes to introduce pop and classical music and kind of combine them together. So one of the biggest ones by the Vitamin String Quartet is Dancing on My Own and Wrecking Ball, which are very popular that season. That one was so good. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, it was just so cute.
Eyebrows.
I love it. Oh, that reminds me, that scene, the last ball when they finally decide to like get together. The cutest scene I've ever seen in my life is when he's like, "Oh, are you sure you don't have a head concussion?" And she's like, "I'm fine." And he's like, "How many fingers am I holding?" And she's like, 3. And he's like,
it was so cute.
So cute. I love it.
I love how in the promo for season 3 they were like,
oh yeah. forgot about.
With my nubs. They're like, they're all like, yeah.
But I loved it.
Now they're gonna be like,
oh, they're gonna do it. I hope Anthony does it. He's like, how many fingers am I holding?
what season are we on?
Yeah. I love it. I love it so much. And then obviously the memes. So the massive amount of memes on social media. I think with the comparison from the memes from season 1 and season 2, it definitely also had a Bridgerton glow up because the memes were a lot funnier.
Oh my god.
I liked it because it was like, I watched Bridgerton for the
there it is, and there it is.
I watched Bridgerton for the plot, and then the plot is him coming out of the water. Love it. I love it.
I love it.
There was another meme that I saw, and it was the devil works hard, but Lady Featherington works harder, and it's a picture of Penelope. I was like, stop! I love it. I love it and I hate it.
There's another one. Oh, this is the one with the popular Bennett, your boy. He's like,
oh my god, that's my favorite scene.
This is the season.
He's the cutest, and I will forever. I'm gonna get that picture of him framed right above my computer.
Down.
I love him.
What about this? I wish you could see it. Look up the one where it's like Benedict posing in Bridgerton season 2. Where is it? He's like sitting like this in the middle of like all these paintings. He's like,
oh my god, when he's posing to be the that one I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up that one. There was one where it's like Bridgerton season 2, a summary, and it's like a picture of it's Antony's body, like ready to fight Simon.
Yeah.
In the first season, and it's Kate's face over it, and it says, "Are you courting my sister?" And then it's Simon ready to punch, and he's like, "Should I not be courting your sister?" But the picture is Anthony's face, and it's literally the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, I love it. And then another one is the Bridgerton balls. So following the success of the show, the Bridgerton themed balls and events started popping up in various cities.
Yes.
I know, I'm really sad about it, but they really should. It's one of the biggest cities in the world. So but yeah, so people dress up in like the Regency attire, and they experience pretty much what a ball is like in the Bridgerton world, and they have a Queen Charlotte that like elects the diamond of the night, and it's cute and it's fun, and I love it, and I want to go. We should go one day. We'll bring Sam. It'll be great.
Yes,
I'm a fan. And then the next one is the literary resurgence. So the success of the series led to a resurgence in popularity of Julia Quinn's Bridgerton novels once again, with this book, The Viscount Who Loved Me, also returning as the bestseller for that. I think it was 2022 was the year that the show was released, so people started buying it again. And I think now after,
and I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I think now after season 2,
that's when I bought all mine, was after season 2.
That's what I'm saying. So I think with season 2, after that spike again, I think everyone just started continuously buying her books. And so now, even to this day, it's still one of like the top sellers, because I know like okay, so in town we only have 3 Barnes and Nobles, and I've been to all of them, and they're always continuously stocked on Bridgerton books.
I think especially as the seasons come on, like when they just announced that the next season is going to be Benedict, I know like everyone's like, okay, let's buy the Benedict book because we want to read it to prepare ourselves for the season. I already read Benedict's book because I thought that would be the season coming up, but it was actually Colin and Penelope, so I had to hurry, read Benedict's, and then hurry up and buy Colin and Penelope's, and then read that before the season came out. Yeah. But I'm right there with everybody else, and I think that's great. And then it also led to the spin-off series with Queen Charlotte, that book, so I love it.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
It's so good. Me too.
So that leads us to our next segment. I have a game again, a Bridgerton game. So it's gonna be Guess That Character. Okay, so this is the first one, same as last time. I'm going to show you just a little window of who a person, and then I want you to guess who it is. Okay, so this is your first
Okay.
one.
I'm tied between two.
Okay.
I feel like the arms are put in front of her on top of a cane, so I'm gonna say Lady Danbury.
Oh my god. You're right. It is ding ding ding, Lady Danbury. She does have her arms out. There is a cane there. That is the
It's fully
scene.
up.
That's the first ball, I think, when they show
Yeah.
up with the Sheffields, the Sharmas.
Yes.
But yeah. Yes, that's it.
Yay!
Okay, now who's this?
I'm gonna go with. It's too delicate to be Eloise, so I'm gonna say Daphne.
It is Eloise when she is out in society. It's her first
Come
time. I think the giveaway with this one, I think the giveaway with this one is Eloise kind of doesn't have like a proper, like she's not up, you know, she kind of slouches a little bit. So she has that like little like, I don't care.
Oh, I should have gone with my first.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's one you, one me.
Daphne doesn't wear yellow. She wears like
Blues. Yeah, very light blue. Okay, and then
what am I looking at?
there you go. Sorry, do you see it?
That's gonna be Miss Edwina.
Edwina Sharma. Yes.
She's so cute.
I think she's just so
tiny little
pretty.
thing I can just like put in my pocket.
Yeah, like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, she's
Take
so
her
cute.
And put her in my pocket. I love her. I think she's pretty, and her boobs are nice. Moving on. Okay, this one.
I'm gonna say, is this all from this season?
Yep.
Gosh, the blue. God. Eloise.
It is Eloise. Because her dress is over. She's so careless. You know, that's our girl. And then look at there's Francesca in the background. Or whoever.
I know.
Someone in the background. Okay. Here's this one.
Is it Anthony?
Yes, but Anthony where?
In his wetness dripping off the river or whatever?
Yes. Look at him! Best picture, best episode in the season.
His face, like all of it.
I know. Look at him. No sideburns. Yeah. It's just the right amount of sideburn.
Hello. Just the right amount of burn.
Exactly.
The next episode, we will be continuing our Bridgerton series with Colin and Penelope. This one I am so excited for. It is the most talked about Bridgerton season to this date. Even now, like it's still being talked about.
Yeah.
It's one that was hyped that many fans, many viewers have been waiting for. And when it came, it was in 2 parts, which is the first time they did that because in season 1, season 2, they had all the episodes out so we could binge it in like a weekend. This was a 2-parter, and I can say for a fact, I stayed up at midnight for both parts and stayed up fully.
Yeah.
And I did not go to work the next day.
Yeah.
So, that's that. So I'm really excited. So for those who want to binge season 3, it is now streaming on Netflix. So if you want to catch up, so when we talk about it, you're not, spoiled or
lost in the sauce.
Yeah, like you're not a smut.
Yeah.
Go on Netflix. It's there. Shit, watch season 1, season 2, and season 3 if you would like. But for sure, season 3, because that is what we will be talking about next. I'm excited.
So am I. I love it. I'm excited.
So excited. Me too.
And if you guys want to indulge in the books, you can buy it at your local bookstore. There's Barnes and Noble. I know that some of them, like some thrift stores, have the books too, so you could definitely do that too. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's on there for sure. I think it is part of Kindle Unlimited, so you don't have to pay. If you have the Kindle Unlimited subscription, you could just download it and read it. That's what I did. And then also you can listen to it on Audible. And if you don't have Audible, you can go ahead and click on the link below. I'll go ahead and tag it. It'll be on audibletrial.com/spellbound. You will get a 30-day free trial to test it out, and you can use your free credit that you get with the trial to read the Bridgerton book, whichever one you want to read. But we are going to talk about the third one, so if you haven't read it, use that and take it, take advantage of that. That's free trial.
I signed up with your free trial. I've already read the Bridgerton. I used my one free credit that I got on there to read The Flock.
Yes, I'm reading that too.
Yeah, I've seen so much hype about it on Book Talk, so many emotions. When I see people crying over this book series, I'm like, I have
Sign
to
me
read
up.
it. Like,
Sign me
why
up.
are they crying?
I want to know.
Why is there so emotion? So that is what I chose for my free trial. But yeah, it works. It's great. It's easy. It's awesome. Love it.
And yeah, like Kim said, you can do it on any book. You don't have to do it on the Bridgerton books. They have graphic audios that you can use it on, which I suggest if you ever get a chance, Kim, or if anyone gets a chance to listen to a graphic audio, they're perfect. It's literally like watching a movie in your head. You can listen to it while you're driving or while you're at work or cleaning or whatever. That's my favorite thing to do. So yeah, I suggest. That's it for this episode. Thank you for joining us, dearest gentle listeners. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and remember, every story has a new page to turn. I think I double blinked.
You single blink. But when we do the next season, it's gonna be even better.
Oh my god, it's gonna be great.
I have to put his
his wink. I